Welcome to CEO Insights. I'm Marilyn de Guzman with investingnews.com. I'm speaking with James Tworek, Chief Executive Officer of Element79 Gold, who's providing us an update on their projects both in Peru and Nevada. Welcome, James.
Hi, Marilyn. Thank you very much for the time here.
Yes, good to have you and good to see you again.
Likewise.
So let's start our conversation with your Peru project. In your recent press release, you've provided some updates on that. You've announced that you've invoked the force majeure clause under your agreement with Condor Resources.
That's right.
Can you provide us some further clarity on your plans for the future of the Lucero project?
Sure. First and foremost, we built this company from day one as a balanced company having properties and projects in multiple jurisdictions exactly for this reason. When you're working outside of, well, let's just politely call it a de-risk jurisdiction like North America, you can run into these delays. And while we have been working diligently with the community for over 2.5 years since acquiring this project at Lucero, there's ebbs and flows both on a federal level as well as at local level inside the community. And, the force majeure contract is really, clause inside of a contract really is a common inclusion of a lot of commercial details, whether you're speaking of building a home or you're building a bridge or in this case, a mine. And we did invoke it. What that does is that effectively for the short run, for the next maximum 2 years, it puts payment terms between us and Condor Resources on hold. And that gives us more time to, without the financial burden of having to carry payments, it gives us the ability to work out the things that are delaying the progress at the project. So I'll politely say that, while we still believe firmly in the opportunity that the Lucero project has and what it stands to be in the future, unfortunately, it's a slow go for the time being. So our plan is to continue working with the community. Our plan is to continue working towards obtaining long-term surface rights access contracts, as well as working with the local artisanal miners in the area to have a happy medium of contracts signed and built together. So we can continue exploring and we can restart the mine and we can rework with the tailings that we've identified in all of our past communications. So for the time being, Lucero will slow down in terms of our general newsreel. We will continue on with all of our efforts in the community and provide updates to our shareholders throughout the overall flow of how things go down there. But at least in the meantime, the force majeure clause puts additional financial burden of that project on hold until we can keep things moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Has that provided, I know there's some geopolitical, aspects to the development there as well. Was there some, has it influenced or how is it influencing maybe your strategy moving forward when evaluating future acquisitions? What are your thoughts?
One of the biggest delays, beyond community side, I had mentioned that there was a federal aspect to it, and the federal government of Peru over the last really, it's been decades where they've been pushing to formalize artisanal miners. But realistically, in the last 3 years, they've been pushing to bring more of the we'll say, small scale artisanal miners that are currently working in a gray area, some legal, some illegal. They've been pushing to have them formalize. And in our case, what that would mean is that being the mineral right holders, formalization looks like they get to, it's kind of like a co-working agreement where they get to continue doing what they have been doing for so long. And in that they would pay us a small piece of any of the revenues generated. Again, terms to be negotiated. But in addition to that we get to also access these projects. So while they, in the concept of have been working the mine for approximately 20 years by themselves, they've been doing it in a gray area. Whereas by formalizing, it formalizes a tax stream through us because they would report their revenues through us. And ultimately, we end up paying tax and the government gets the benefit of that. Therefore, more infrastructure, schools, health, etc., gets invested in by the federal government. Having said that, federal process has drawn out, and it's obviously quite complicated. But approximately every 6 months over the last 3 years, the community, doesn't feel any pressure because the federal side keeps changing the rules and keeps moving the goalpost of when formalization is going to be absolutely hardline mandated. And so, therefore, it sounds like today, while June 30th was kind of a soft start to it on a federal level to formalization, it looks like now it's December 31st of 2025. Now, when you overlay that between today and a rainy season that will prevent work for at least 4 months at the project, going forward, we can anticipate to have a lot better traction next year, both because there is a federal hardline where there will be a lot more push and therefore impetus to forge contracts and work together. In addition to that, the rainy season's in the way anyways. We won't be able to access the mine until at least April of next year. So I do anticipate seeing some good news and some good updates coming closer to the end of this year and pushing towards approximately mid-year next year as well.
So you're now moving your focus back to Nevada, your Elephant project. What are the near-term milestones investors should expect from the project?
Sure. Well, in one sense, Nevada is nothing new to us in the sense that we acquired a portfolio of 16 projects back in 2021, all located in the general Carlin, Getchell, and Battle Mountain trend. And the 3Ds of project development are you deal it, you drill it, or you drop it. And we had been doing that with several of our projects over the time, had some great successes with developing out Maverick Springs and selling that for profit. And we still retained the Elephant project. It's in the Battle Mountain trend. It's very close to some very large producing mines, either past producing or existing producing mines. And in the sense that the project had just been sitting on the shelf for about the last 15 years prior to our acquisition of it, it's great that it's been sitting in stasis. It has 40 drill holes that are going to be a bit of a jogging start. So we are working on getting an updated, the first ever 43-101 on this project, which will identify both what is there as well as give us some indications as to what we should be doing for project work moving forward. We do anticipate doing some surface level review. First and foremost, review all the cores in terms of the historical data because, let's just say that they hadn't been looking at critical metals. And we did learn that lesson from Sun Silver, where they had revisited cores and found ample antimony, antimony inclusions, which is a critical metal for metal hardening, is, I guess we'll say, a bit of a flavor of the day, so that can should bring some more excitement. And in addition to reviewing those cores, starting trenching programs to figure out more of the surface level geochemistry, in addition to siting for drilling. So that's what we can expect to come from the drilling or from the Elephant project over the next year. An updated 43-101, revisiting the cores to understand really what we've got our arms around, and then starting some actual field work, probably into the late part of this year.
Okay, and then the updated NI 43-101, you're should be expecting that by next year. Is that?
I'd imagine the 43-101, we're just waiting on a third quote right now. We should have it in hand by definitely before the end of the year, but it could be as fast as September.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. In addition to Elephant, you also are focusing on completing your acquisition of the Gold Mountain project.
That's right.
What makes this a compelling asset, and how does it fit with Element79's long-term strategy?
Well, in the grand scheme of things, we've seen success of projects that already have some project work on them. They're close, closeology in Nevada is everywhere when it comes to working inside of a major trend like the Battle Mountain trend. And even more so, while a lot of the surface level sampling indicates there's some great grades of gold to be working with, we're very excited because it actually comes with a drilling permit in place. So the opportunity to effectively, number one, close on the asset, which should be here in the next couple of days, in addition to then complete a raise that will allow us to open up the doors to drilling and starting to prove up some more resource on that project. It's absolutely palpable and tangible right now.
Mm-hmm. And is the plan to simultaneously explore or drill both projects?
Absolutely, yes. There's going to be that ability. We'll have to see, given that we're in midsummer right now. It sounds good, but it's always a juggling game of working with who has availability in terms of, earthworks and drilling, because there's a lot of activity happening in Nevada today. In addition to, there is a very marked winter season, and in certain regions, if you're not high up on a mountain, or even if you are high up on a mountain, you could get snowed out. Getting site access might be difficult depending where your drill locations are. So we'll have to play that a little bit by ear, but ultimately, in the best of worlds, we would love to, number one, close on the transaction. Number two, close a raise immediately in conjunction with that, and then get to drilling.
So as you look at your, I guess, your roadmap of your strategy for the remainder of 2025, are there specific targets that you're working towards that will demonstrate success, for the company and, positive for your shareholders by the end of the year?
On three levels, I'll quickly run through Peru again. Working with the community, there's going to be another community meeting here at the end of July, so we'll be providing some updates as to what may have unfolded by that time. But again, no major expectations out of the Lucero project until middle of next year, like I've already outlined. Shifting over to Elephant, first and foremost, we own it. The biggest thing is amassing all of the existing data into that 4311 that I've mentioned. So we really do have a clear understanding of what we have our arms around, and we can relate that to our investors, as well as start potentially some surface level work after revisiting the cores to figure out, again, if there's anything more appealing at that level. Lastly, when we look at the Gold Mountain project, first and foremost, acquisition is underway. I believe I have the new legal docs in hand right now, so closing should be relatively quick. And upon that, it's drill ready, so completing a quick equity raise, and then moving on down the path towards drilling in Battle Mountain in Nevada is definitely on deck.
Great. Let's leave it at that. And I look forward to speaking with you again when you have some more updates to provide our investor community.
Thank you, Merlin. I look forward to that opportunity.
And once again, that was James Tworek, Chief Executive Officer of Element79 Gold. For investors who are watching, what do you think about Element79's recent strategic move to focus its exploration work on its Nevada projects? Leave a comment below and let us know what you think. Thanks for watching. Until next time.